Welcome back. 19 million. That is the number of total coronavirus cases the U.S. just passed over the weekend. Joining us now is Pulitzer Prize winning author and staff writer at The New Yorker, Lawrence Wright. Back in April, Lawrence published a novel about a global pandemic sparked by a mysterious virus that originated in Asia. As that premise grew more and more prescient, he spent the past 7 months interviewing public health experts, frontline workers, and key voices across federal and local government. And his sweeping reporting comes together in the magazine's latest issue in a piece titled The Plague Year: The Mistakes and the Struggles Behind an American Tragedy. Mike Barnicle and Aaron Haynes are still here with us as well. Lawrence, this is incredible reporting on a really terrible year for all of us. And in this, you identify a couple of key turning points where we may have been able to have affected a different outcome than what we have seen with so many hundreds of thousands of Americans dead. Walk us through the key points in your view in how this failure unfolded.
Thank you, Casey. Yeah, we had, I think, 3 great chances to lessen the tragedy that America has endured. And the first really began on January 3rd when Robert Redfield, the head of the CDC, spoke to his counterpart in China, George Gao, about this unidentified pneumonia that was sweeping through Wuhan. And on that occasion and subsequently, Gao repeatedly assured Redfield that there was no human-to-human transmission. And he also refused to help get the CDC experts into China to check it out for themselves. And the Chinese government turned down any further requests. And Redfield is convinced, had we been able to get into China and look at the situation, we would have found out one of the most important features of this new virus, which is that it spreads asymptomatically. And we didn't really know that definitively until mid-March. So we lost 3 months almost to this wrong assumption that only symptomatic people could spread the disease. The second was the catastrophe of the testing. The CDC, is the world's foremost authority on this, and yet they stumbled so badly. They were making kits for public health labs that were flawed. And only really, there were 3 elements in this kit, this test kit, and only one element actually failed, and the test without the 3rd element was fine. But it took the FDA and the CDC most of February to figure out that they could allow this test to circulate with simply removing that 3rd element. And the last chance we had was masks. It's been a public health, orthodoxy that masks weren't really that important. And yet, in China, for instance, in Hong Kong, the densest city in the world, there was no community spread of this disease. And that's because 90% of the people were wearing masks. But, for 2 reasons, Americans aren't used to doing that. And the president, when he announced that mask wearing would be a policy, said that he was choosing not to do it himself. So he undermined and politicized the process from the very start.
Lawrence, you focus on the role that indeed President Trump played in the spread of this virus. I'm going to read from your piece here. Quote, Trump, by his words and his example, became not a leader but a saboteur. He subverted his health agencies by installing political operatives who meddled with the science and suppressed the truth. His crowded, unmasked political rallies were reckless acts of effrontery. In his Tulsa speech, he said that he'd asked his health officials to, quote, slow the testing down, impeding data collection just to make his administration look better. When the inevitable happened and he contracted the disease, he almost certainly spread it. Every guest at the Barrett reception tested negative for the virus before entering. Trump may well have been the super spreader at the Rose Garden event. And Lawrence, we know that wasn't the only one. Election night, there was a party in the West Wing as well where a number of cases have been traced.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.